From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, December the 9th, 2016. The first two American advanced fighter jets set to join Israel's Air Force left Texas yesterday and are making their way to Israel. The stealth F-35 jets were acquired by the country as part of the U.S. defense aid package to Israel. They made their first stopover in the Azores and will spend the weekend in Italy before landing in Israel on Monday. Israel is the first country to receive the F-35s outside the United States. The jets were built by Lockheed Martin with several components built by Israeli companies. They are expected to arrive at the Nevatim Air Force Base near Beersheba for a celebratory ceremony when American pilots will transfer the keys to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and to IAF Major General Amir Eshel. Senior IDF officers are expected to place IAF symbol, the White Star of David, on the jets as a symbolic gesture of them becoming part of Israel's Air Force. Israel procured a total of 19 jets, which it will receive over the next few years. The jet will be known in Israel as the Adir, which means mighty or great. The IDF spokesperson's office released a video with an American F-35 pilot wishing Israel well.
Shalom, first of all, and congratulations on your new F-35I Adir and the delivery of this jet. I go by Animal. I'm a F-35 acceptance pilot that flies the A, C, and obviously the I variant of this aircraft. Previous, I was a F-16 CJ pilot with more than 1,100 hours and 630 combat hours. It's a historic moment for you, the world, and specifically the region receiving this jet.
Congress yesterday passed legislation that includes over $600 million for missile defense cooperation with Israel. The Senate passed the measure 92-7. The House approved it 375-34. The Times of Israel reports that the defense package is not part of the recent Memorandum of Understanding signed by the U.S. for military aid to Israel, but a new bill that includes U.S.-Israel missile defense cooperation for the 2017 fiscal year, including research and development funding and the procurement of the Iron Dome rocket defense system, David's Sling medium-range missile defense system, and the acquisition of the Arrow 3 long-range missile defense system. The legislation also includes additional funds for U.S.-Israel cooperation to combat terror tunnels. Israel security agency the Shin Bet announced today the recent arrest of a terror cell planning to carry out an attack in Jerusalem. Just yesterday, we reported to you that the Shin Bet revealed that a different cell had been uncovered and arrested in the West Bank for planned attacks there. This latest announcement said a serious attack was prevented through a joint operation between the Shin Bet and Israel police that took place last month, with the arrests of 8 Arab-Israeli residents of the East Jerusalem neighborhoods of Sur Bacher and Sheikh Jarrah. The terror cell members were allegedly planning to carry out a shooting attack against an IDF base near the Hebrew University's Mount Scopus campus in Jerusalem. The Shin Bet said thwarting the network prevented the realization of serious terrorist attacks in Jerusalem, and its exposure again demonstrates the great risks of terrorists with Israeli identity cards who enjoy freedom of movement, access to means of warfare, and the relative ease of carrying out attacks. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and her party, the Christian Democratic Union, passed a resolution this week against the BDS boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement that seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel. The CDU called the BDS campaign, quote, nothing other than coarse anti-Semitism. Jewish groups here in the U.S. lauded these statements. B'nai B'rith International said they hoped the CDU's, quote, exemplary action will prompt other political actors throughout Europe to condemn BDS and denounce anti-Semitism and anti-Israel hatred. The Anti-Defamation League said the comments were highly significant. ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt said at a time when efforts to isolate and delegitimize Israel are on the rise, it's critical for society's leaders to take a stand and call it out. Well, Jewish actor, producer, director, and philanthropist Kirk Douglas turns 100 today. Douglas was born Isur Danielovich on this date in 1916. His parents were immigrants from Belarus. Douglas has starred in some 87 films and was nominated 3 times for the Oscar. His numerous charitable efforts include support of hospitals and schools in Israel. He celebrates this milestone birthday today with family and friends in Beverly Hills. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight, for Friday, December the 9th on JBS, live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue. At 8 tonight, French intellectual Bernard-Henri Lévy talks about events in Europe and their effects on European Jewry with NYU professor Thane Rosenbaum at the 92nd Street Y. At 9 tonight, it's the film Third Jihad. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin looks at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, December the 9th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.